Join our celebration of Black History Month, only on New Thought Media Network. New videos every day at 6 a.m. Mountain Time, or watch anytime on our YouTube channel. 28 unique Black History moments, every day in February. Only on New Thought Media Network.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Dr. Tynya Beverly, and I bring you love from the Center for Spiritual Awareness in West Sacramento. As we continue honoring Black History Month, I want to lift up a teacher whose voice shaped the spiritual imagination of an entire generation. A man who dared to tell Black folks loud, proud, and unapologetically that our minds are powerful, our beliefs are creative, and our lives are shaped from the inside out. Today, we honor Frederick J. IKE. You may know him and recognize him as Reverend Ike. A spiritual pioneer, a metaphysical trailblazer, a voice that shifted the consciousness of Black America. He was a prosperity teacher long before prosperity was popular, a metaphysician long before metaphysics was mainstream, and a man who stood in the pulpit and declared to Black America, "You can't lose with the stuff I use." And the stuff he used was consciousness. The stuff he used was mind power. And the stuff he used was spiritual law. Reverend Ike brought metaphysics to Black audiences nationwide through radio, television, mail-ordered lessons, and packed auditoriums. He taught that poverty is not holy, that suffering is not required, and that God is expressed through your fullness, not your lack. Now, he was controversial, yes, but he was also catalytic. He opened the door for Black people to see themselves as creators, not victims of circumstance. And for me, that door opened early. When I was a child, I remember watching my mother pray with a red cloth. She held it with such reverence, such intention, and such certainty. I didn't know the theology behind it at the time, but I knew deep in my little girl spirit that something powerful was happening. That red cloth was a part of Reverend Ike's ministry. It wasn't magic. It wasn't superstition. It was symbol. It was a reminder. It was belief made visible. Reverend Ike taught that the red cloth was simply a tool to help you focus your mind, your intentions, your expectations, and it reminded you that what you believe, you become, that what you hold in consciousness, you eventually hold in your hands. And that was my introduction to New Thought before I even knew the name. I watched my mother pray with that cloth, and I saw her faith shift the atmosphere in our home. I saw her speak words of possibility when circumstances somehow were otherwise. I saw her embody the truth that belief is power and that power lives in us. So the red cloth taught me something that I carry to this day. And in New Thought, it's all about what you believe, not what you fear, not what you've been told, not what the world says you deserve, but what you believe deeply, consistently, and courageously. So Reverend Ike's legacy is in us. He gave Black people permission to believe bigger, permission to expect more, and permission to see God not as a distant judge, but as an indwelling presence. And he taught us that your thoughts are creative, your words are magnetic, and your belief is the engine of your life. So whether you agree with his methods or not, you could not deny his impact. He shifted the spiritual landscape, and he made metaphysics accessible. He spoke abundance into communities that have been told to settle for scraps. And he said, "You can't lose with what I use." And the stuff that he used was belief. So today, as we honor Reverend Ike, I invite us to remember we all have a red cloth, a symbol, a reminder, a touchstone of belief. And for some of us, it's scripture. For some, a meditation. For some, a ritual. And for some, a memory of a mother praying with fierce faith. Whether your red cloth is hold it close, let it remind you that your belief shapes your life. Let it remind you that you are a creator, not a victim. And let it remind you that you can't lose with the stuff you use. And when the stuff you use is consciousness, intention, and spiritual law. Ashe, and so it is.
Thanks for watching New Thought Media Network's Black History Moments. Join us every day in February for a new Black History Moment, live at 6 a.m. Mountain Time or on our YouTube channel. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.